Elon Musk, space genius or elitist billionaire jerkface. In this video, we take a deep look into Elon Musk's past and show definitively that he is not all he says he is. We also pry open the secret playbook that Elon and the other elites are using to push you out of Bitcoin so they can keep it all to themselves. Grab a bag of popcorn. We're going in on Elon. Let's get it. BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest crypto channel in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. In this video, we are straight up exposing the douchiest guy on Twitter, in crypto, and across all the rest of the interwebs, Elon Musk. Impoverished child that grew up in Pretoria, South Africa and moved penniless to Toronto, Canada. He funded his own education and made his first company, Zip2, with nothing but his bare hands. He then invented PayPal, then sold it to eBay and invented Tesla and SpaceX at the same time. He's a champion of the people and only wants what's best for the planet and for crypto. Or does he? Elon has built up a mystique as a hip and cool billionaire inventor through the clever use of Twitter, a PR team, and putting legal gag orders on people. He wants us to think he's Tony Stark, but in reality, he's more like Kingpin, but with hair plugs. In article after keynote speech after podcast, Elon is referred to as co-founder of Tesla Motors. But Tesla was started by engineers Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning back in the early 2000s. Martin and Mark brought the Tesla Roadster to market through strategic partnerships and their own inventions. They innovated the newest battery propulsion technology with their teams, technology that would influence all modern electric cars developed since the Roadster. Through sheer force of will, they forged relationships with skeptical auto parts makers and navigated regulatory hurdles. They even invented the safeguards to the volatile lithium batteries that kept them from having critical safety issues. Elon, on the other hand, came along halfway through the development of the Roadster as a Series A investor, using his PayPal money to buy a seat at the table. According to Martin and Mark, Elon didn't have much input in the beginning, but as time went on, Elon started to demand more and more from the team. As concept work moved towards building the Model S, Elon was voted in as CEO and immediately made life terrible for the founders. Martin was the most vocal in his opposition to Elon's increasingly demanding time schedule and was forced out of Tesla. Mark was able to stay around for a little bit longer, but took a severance package as soon as a chance presented itself. Elon now had no real opposition at Tesla and immediately took on the moniker of co-founder for no apparent reason other than his gigantic ego. He literally had nothing to do with all the core technology development of Tesla and even stuck to the original product launch map that Martin and Mark had established early on. Elon went on to trash the Roadster in nearly every interview since then, even though the Roadster laid the foundation for all of his future success at Tesla. Elon's reign of terror at Tesla soon moved outside the company when car designer Fisker contracted with Tesla to design the Model S. This relationship started before Elon took over as CEO, and Fisker was getting more business because their car designs were getting a lot of attention in the industry. But soon, Elon learned that Fisker was designing a different class of car with quantum fuel systems. The idea of electric car competition scared Elon so much, he saw an opportunity to create some FUD and crash a potential competitor very early on. In April of 2008, Tesla Motors, at the instruction of Elon Musk, filed a lawsuit against Fisker Automotive, accusing them of everything from fraud, breach of contract, and believe it or not, unfair competition. Elon buried Fisker in a mountain of lawsuits and crushed them, spending months dragging Fisker's name in the mud as a bad actor in the automotive industry. It was only months later that a court found that Tesla's lawsuit was totally frivolous and had no merit. They even ordered Tesla, not Elon, to pay over $1 billion in restitution. But it was too late. Fisker was done for. Elon knows, though, where his bread was buttered and pursued government subsidies for electric car manufacturing, following the footsteps of other car manufacturers. A huge company stuffing their face with neat bucks is nothing new. But Elon, of course, being two-faced to keep his government checks flowing, but also FUD and spread misinformation about crypto. You see, Elon wants it both ways. He wants to pretend that his electric cars are the perfect solution to every environmental problem. But they aren't. It's hot air. Electric cars may be the way forward when it comes to green energy, but their manufacturing process is far from green. The cobalt and lithium required to make a car battery are mined using child labor, with workers being paid poorly and working in dangerous conditions, often 7 days a week. Great job, Elon. The lithium mines in particular are consuming vast swaths of pristine desert and other natural habitats in open-air acid evaporation pools that decimate the immediate area. All these materials are mined using machinery with diesel engines shipped across the globe using diesel supertankers. But the dirty, open secret of electric vehicles is that no one has the capability to recycle the massive batteries. That's right. Every electric car battery goes into a landfill, a massive log of toxic chemicals that will sit in a landfill for centuries. So Elon turns a blind eye to all these issues, but will spread misinformation about Bitcoin using electricity. Maybe that's why his first two wives left him. I'm no fan of the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's well documented. They serve a purpose, but it's archaic. So initially when I saw Elon Musk fighting back against the SEC back in 2018, I cheered him on. Stick it to the feds. The troubles for Elon started when he threatened to take Tesla private on August 7, 2018. A month later, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Musk, accusing him of making false and misleading statements and sought to strip him of his leadership position at Tesla. A few days later, Musk settled with the SEC and agreed to step down as CEO for 3 years. It seemed that was the end of this saga. But just a few weeks later, Elon was on 60 Minutes and declared, "I want to be clear. I do not respect the SEC. I do not respect them," Musk said when asked about the SEC's lawsuit against him. He then went on to make more claims about Tesla's production numbers, flaunting the SEC's lawsuit and the settlement he made with them. This back and forth, taunting the SEC, lasted for months and built Musk the aura of being a maverick, thumbing his nose at the Trump administration. The mainstream media loved him for it, and they sang his praises, even louder from the rafters. You see where this is going, right? Elon was thrown into the zeitgeist and started to become a cultural figure. Attention. He loves it. For the past few years, it was hard to get through a month or two without Elon coming up in the conversation. He was in an episode of Rick and Morty. He attended the Met Gala. He smoked with Joe Rogan. He named his infant son this. But as 2020 dragged on, when the world was full of uncertainty, Elon's star started to fade. We had other things on our mind. So what's a balding, coattail riding nerd supposed to do when he isn't making headlines anymore? He started to look for anything that would juice his image. He started tweeting about Dogecoin. Started small, just a few tweets and memes, but as he saw the price pump by 682% and the fervent adulation of Gen Z and millennials flooding his Twitter, Elon went all in on Doge. Social media crowned him the Doge Father. Then he announced that Tesla had bought Bitcoin and would accept it as payment for their cars. And this is when it all started to run afoul of the crypto community, specifically Bitcoiners. While Elon had stated his support for Bitcoin multiple times in the past, he found himself at odds with the only thing he loves more than fame, his money. Elon was pretty successful at pulling strings to get attention, playing both sides of many different fields. But when he got into crypto, he suddenly found himself on his back foot. Old money types who sit on the board at Tesla, as well as Tesla shareholders, didn't like all this talk about some new kind of money that isn't the dollar. His Green New Deal homies stopped shoveling him subsidies and demanded to know why he was supporting a currency that was consuming loads of electricity. The cryptoverse was split between euphoria for crypto coming into pop culture and concern that Elon was shilling an S-coin and delegitimizing crypto as an asset. As pressure mounted in late 2020 and early 2021, Elon showed his true colors to everyone, not just those in crypto. He turned on Bitcoin, started pushing environmental FUD that has been debunked on this channel in full. You can actually check out a link to our environmental FUD video above. But he also kept pumping Dogecoin, started making claims about crypto that were not based on facts. He kept pushing Bitcoin FUD in concert with other negative news and pattern that can only be described as coordinated. Once you look at the timing and the messaging of Elon's tweets, two patterns come into view. One, Elon loves the attention and sees no problem manipulating markets, costing regular people a ton of money in favor of his big money cronies. Number two, Elon will put money over his principles every single time. Nothing sums this up better than this Elon Musk story from his early days. Elon has stated publicly that he hates his father, Elon Musk. He's gone on record saying that his father is a villain, a terrible person, and even a murderer. He's maintained that his father had little to do with his upbringing and that it was left up to him to help raise the family when they moved to Toronto when Elon was in high school. But the fact is, Elon Musk is an integral part of Elon's upbringing and paid for the lavish, privileged lifestyle that Elon grew up in. He paid for private school that Elon attended, the Waterkloof House Prep School, and later the Pretoria Boys School. Errol gave Elon every opportunity in life to succeed, and he did that through wealth acquired during the apartheid era in South Africa. That's right. Errol even had a majority ownership in an emerald mine in Zambia. And just to make sure you're in on the loop, precious stone mining in Africa, especially in the 70s and 80s, was a cutthroat business. It still is. But back then, the labor was done by illiterate workers who were paid pennies a day, basically slave labor, something we see Elon Musk carrying out to this day. That's right, Elon's education and upbringing come from suspect and possibly criminal enterprises. So it only makes sense for an attention whore like Elon to try and distance himself from his father, right? But remember what Elon does love more than good press? Money. When Elon was starting his first company, Zip2, he was looking for money to get it off the ground. And when Elon Musk opened up his wallet and offered $20,000 to Elon to get in on Zip2, Elon was more than happy to accept blood money. So it's pretty obvious that Elon will do or say anything to make a buck. It's himself that he's the most interested in. Not space, not the environment, not Dogecoin. If it's not pumping his image, he'll turn his back on it. This is the takeaway. Elon Musk cannot be trusted. He's bad for crypto, bad for America, and bad for the world. Elon is an enemy of crypto. Stop giving him attention. Unfollow him on Twitter. We have to take power away from him, and we do that by turning him off. And canceling Elon, well, that gets me all turned on. Let me know what you think about Satan himself, Elon Musk, down below in the comments. That's all I got. Be blessed. Big boy out.